I'm Amelia.
And I'm Rebecca.
I'm actually a professional writer and business consultant for small town and rural businesses. That's actually where we got our name.
And I am a digital and print designer.
We are actually part of a multi-generational, family-owned marketing and design agency. So the agency has been helping people for over 19 years to help people succeed by providing them with education, marketing services to help them get the word out about what they're doing, and branding services to help them look good while they're doing it. So one of the biggest things that we see a lot of times is when people are trying to expand their business, they don't have enough customers to do so. You have to have enough people that are willing to buy your products for you to actually be able to expand and grow. So we have helped people find solutions to these problems, and so I'm going to be going over some of the more common problems that we see and what the solutions are. So the most common solution is that people are trying to sell to anyone and everyone that is willing to listen.
When you ask them, who are you selling to? They will say, everyone. And when you ask, okay, everyone? Yes, everyone. So when you ask them, okay, well, who needs your eggs? Everyone needs eggs. And that's what we want to tackle here.
Because if you're trying to focus on everyone, you're going to end up with branding that doesn't offend anybody, but doesn't necessarily appeal to anyone in particular. You might post on social media about articles that are interesting to most everybody, but doesn't really necessarily grab anyone's attention and make them want to stop and read your post. And basically you end up becoming more generic and not really standing out from the crowd. You really have to focus your time, your money, and your energy on the people who are actually motivated to buy from you specifically. If you let the fear of missing out make you target everyone, you're actually going to end up missing out on sales, because if you're targeting 10 people and only one of them actually is interested in your products, the other 9 don't need them or aren't interested in them, you're just going to actually be wasting your ads budget or your energy to actually post anything on social media. So it's really important that you stand out, and to do that, you have to have an ideal customer in mind. You have to have someone you're specifically selling to, and a problem that you're solving for them, so that they actually care about what you're saying.
And this really applies no matter what the product. We can see a visual example of this with, I think some of you may have seen these 2 versions of logos in 100 variations before. The Earth logo, maybe a grid, something corporate, organic leaf logo. And the thing is, I could tell you so many brands use this, and I can't really remember which one is which. Again, there's really no reason to dislike either of these symbols, but there's not really any reason to remember them either. So the question I have is, in the design world, we come to a client and we ask them, okay, what's distinctive about you? What can make this memorable? How can we take this or that and, make a twist on it, make it something someone can look at, and they can distinguish you from the sea of all these other logos that look the same way. And that means narrowing down to something, someone, somewhere. It might not appeal to them, but that doesn't matter, because it needs to appeal to the specific person that it's intended for. So the question is, why should only your logo be that way? Your products, services, and how you brand your company can be the same. So the actual product itself and how it's presented can also become memorable and distinguishable compared to other places.
The second reason why you probably don't have enough customers is because your message is unclear. That specifically means that you don't know how to answer when the person asks, what's in it for me? What am I going to get out of this product? What makes it special? And you don't necessarily know how to answer what makes me different from the competition. So you don't necessarily know when someone asks, okay, let's say you're at the farmer's market. You're selling your eggs for $5 a dozen. Someone else is selling their eggs for $3 a dozen. They're automatically going to go with the person that's selling them for $3 a dozen, unless you can communicate, my eggs are a superior product that are worth $5 a dozen because I have free range and organic practices. And so you're not going to be stuck on competing on price or quantity, size of the lettuce. You're going to be competing on the value that you are providing. And so that is the benefit of clearing up your message. This again has to do with knowing who you're talking to, because you actually have to focus on what they care about. So you're talking about your organic practices, you want to also have your branding and your packaging and your extra value focused on someone who actually cares about organic practices, and that's going to be something that makes them want to buy your product over other people.
When people don't have a clear message, pretty much people default to competing on price. So it's price, quantity, size. When you create that clear message, because most people do have a unique difference they're already providing. That's like comparing microgreens to, how large lettuce is, because they don't understand that microgreens are more nutritious or have a special value to them in recipes.
So, third reason, you have either too many products or you're selling generic products. So if you're selling too many products, you're going to end up spreading yourself way too thin, trying to provide enough value on each one of the products that people are going to be able to compete. That's going to end up with you being burnt out or not being able to provide a really quality product. If you are selling a generic product, you're selling it in, what I mean by that is you're selling the same product with the same words to the same exact people. So that's generic because you're competing with literally everyone else that's selling that product. And the only way that you're going to be able to actually compete is if you step outside of competition and trying to be the best and actually offer something new with your own twist to a specific group of people. And your twist can be that you're solving their problem. Your twist can be your personality, standing out from the other people. So it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to sell your eggs with a satin ribbon. You know what I mean? Maybe you're selling your egg carton, you're selling your eggs, and you have a little coupon that says, if you bring this egg carton back, I'll give you 10 cents off your next order. Somebody who cares about sustainability and really reusing and all of that, they're going to feel delighted by that because they're like, oh, this person really cares and they really get me. And so you really want to focus on the things that matter to your ideal customer and sell products that actually solve their problems or provide them with additional value. Basically, all of these reasons go back to ideal customer. If you have your ideal customer, you're going to be able to solve each one of these reasons why you may not have enough customers. But let's get into more of like a visual example on this one.
Okay, so let's say you heard there's 2 new shops opening in town and you want to go window shopping and kind of check them out on your way there. And as you're walking down, you stop into the first shop and it's an antique shop. And I think some of us may have seen antique shops a little similar to this. It's a little bit chaotic. There's a lot of items, maybe a few you're interested in, it's very crowded. So we might have a little bit of consignment clothes in one corner, and then we have some like canned goods in another corner, some furniture for sale, and then in the corner, this person, they see a little tea stand, a little tea dispenser. So being someone who loves tea, they go and they order a cup of tea, they get it in a to-go cup, it's paper to-go cup. That's the item in this whole shop that they really care about. So a lot of the other items, they're not really sure where to place this. They don't really know why they come back specifically because there's a lot of little things that it's not really over-delivering on one particular area. So as they exit, they immediately notice a stark difference with a really similar shop, but is focusing a little more narrowly to something a little more specific. And it's this adorable tea shop. So they have these pastel pink, blue color palettes, those scalloped edge banners and awnings, and these vintage little signs. As they come in, they see this really neat dining area and really fine china. They see a wall lined with loose leaf teas, and despite the fact they have a tea in their hand and the to-go cup, the bagged tea, being that they're a tea enthusiast, they probably can't resist bringing a couple home with them for the teas that look really high quality. And I'm assuming first thing this person's going to think is, I can't wait to come back and bring my daughter or granddaughter for her birthday. There's seating, china, and quality tea, and that's really all it took. They were focusing on these few things and they really over-delivered on them.
What's easier, selling ice cream to someone who is in Hawaii or someone who's in Alaska? So when you are targeting an ideal customer, something that some people don't understand is they think that just means picking a good person, just, like generally marketing to them or talking to them. It actually means leaving out people who don't need your product. Like the people in Alaska don't need ice cream.
person in the beginning who said, I want to sell to everyone. They really didn't want to sell a product to these people. But when they were targeting their ads on Facebook towards everyone, they were literally targeting people in Alaska for their ice cream. Because it wasn't leaving out anyone that wouldn't even be worth that time and money and effort and investment.
Because they're just going to scroll past the post. They're not going to pay attention. They're like, oh, why did I see this movie? That's weird. So let's talk about a Homestead version of this example. What's going to be more effective? Selling eggs to a vegan, a chicken farmer, somebody who's out of state, or a local mother who needs more nutritious food for her kids. It makes sense when you put it in these words. You really want to focus on people who are interested in your products, unlike the vegan who literally has no interest in eggs. You want to feed people that need your product. Chicken farmer already has eggs.
So they have the interest.
But they don't need any more eggs because they already have them. They've solved that problem for themselves. That's the difference between like someone who's more of like a do-it-yourselfer. They might be interested in what you're selling, but they're going to go and find a solution for themselves. Where if you're picking someone who's like, I need the convenience of someone providing this for me, you're getting a little bit narrowed down more. So it's like a hierarchy. Interested, need your product, in your service area. So if you can focus on people that check all of those boxes for you, you're going to have a lot better return on investment.
Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a like and subscribe. And make sure to check out part 2 for even more insightful information on how to grow your rural business.